It's okay. No, we're gonna start at like probably 7:09, 7:10. Um, I just want to get a little bit more people in. Um, for those of you that don't know her, my new partner is Maria, and she's a phenomenal person. And tonight, like I said, we're going to be talking about domestic violence. And we are going to let OG Brenda come in and it's okay. It's okay. We're going to let OG Brenda come in and give her story about domestic violence. Um, if y'all want to know where I got that statement from, it's okay not to be okay. You are enough. It's okay, Brenda. Hi, love.
Howdy. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you too. This will be my new partner for You Are Enough, season 2, episode 1, and all the episodes after. Miss Maria, thank you for coming. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Maria D. Been on tag for about 2, 3 years now. Um, we have this show on Sundays, You Are Enough, Sundays at 7 o'clock. And we also have a new show on Wednesdays called Labor and Delivery, scheduled for Wednesdays at 8. Big supporter of Real Sister. She's been a big supporter and friend of mine. And I am just happy to be here.
Thank you for coming out to You Are Enough at 7 o'clock p.m. on Sundays. It's okay for you not to be okay. You are enough. Now, OG Brenda, could you please request the box? When she does, Maria, could you please introduce her?
Of course.
This pair.
Hi, Brenda.
Hi,
Hi,
Brenda.
Maria.
Hey, Boo.
How
If
are
you don't
you?
mind, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, please? And thank you so much for being a
Um,
special guest.
I don't go live no more because I bought a house and it has sucky internet, but you'll find me in everybody else's live. Um, I've been on tag for about not quite 2 years. I joined in January of 2021, somewhere around in there.
Happy
Um,
anniversary.
met a lot of great people here. Met some drama queens. I veer away from the drama. If it ain't fun, I don't come around.
Amen to that.
I just life's too short to have drama, arguing, disagreeing. It's not worth it.
So
Right.
true.
I lost my wallet and found my wallet all in an hour after I had a major panic attack. My whole life is in my wallet, and you wouldn't believe where it was.
Where was it?
Where was it?
In my driveway under my car.
Okay, nice.
Oh, wow.
That's a
I
good
ripped
save.
my house apart. I gifted this girl. She's starting over, leaving a bad situation. and I gifted her some stuff at my that I had. She needed a heater. She's moving into a camper, her and her son. So, starting over. You
Yep.
got it.
Amen.
But I don't know anybody that hasn't been there. And
Mhm.
I just learned a long time ago to pay it forward, because if you pay it forward, it's going to come back to you.
Right.
That part. So I always manage to pay it forward because I like blessings.
Well, we appreciate you being on the show today, Brenda. And for those that are coming in now that are not aware, today's episode is about domestic violence, and our special guest is OG Brenda. She's going to be touching up on the topic a little bit and telling us her story. Um, and I just open the floor to you, Brenda, to go ahead and share your story with us, please.
All right, I'm going to start with me. I always swore I was a very independent woman. I joined the army at 17. I was gun ho. I was going to do it all. And I did. I did it all. I did everything I wanted to be. I became a truck driver. Walked in a man's shoes in a man's world, and I did what I wanted to do. And I thought I had the world by the ass. I get out of the army. I get involved with the first man I've ever been involved with in my whole life. And I fell head over heels in love with something else besides money. Money had always been my main objective. He wasn't a good man. And in my heart, I seen the red flags. But when you're in love, you don't want to see no red flags. You don't want to see the worst out of somebody that you think you love. And things was good till I got pregnant. It started with hair pulling, screaming in my face. Again, I didn't see the red flags. I got pregnant and the violence kind of diminished a little bit. We still argued, but not as bad. He was happy about the baby. Everything was great. We were going to have our own little family. And then Jasmine was born, and he did a complete 360. He now was jealous of the baby. I spent too much time with the baby. I paid attention to the baby. He wasn't getting no attention. He wasn't getting his dinner when he thought he should be getting dinner, and in a way, I kind of blame that on myself because I'm the one that had that dinner ready. I'm the one that had your clothes ready when you got done taking a shower. I'm the one that made your plate and walked it to you in the living room. I did all that because I thought that was part of being a good woman. The first time he ever put his hands on me, he grabbed me by the back of my head and smashed my face into the car's console, the dash. I was so surprised. I just grabbed my face. I couldn't believe, it had went from arguing to now you're putting your hands on me. Well, it just escalated from there. So I fought back. And the more I fought back, the crazier it got. He got to the point where he was choking me out. You choke a person out, they have no fight. They don't wanna fight back. At one point, I thought he was gonna kill me. So I did the most liberating thing I ever did. I went and got a job behind his back, and I started hoarding money. And it felt good to make them paychecks and hide that money, because that was money he didn't know about. because I had to answer for everything. I had to tell where I spent every dime at. I wasn't allowed to buy cigarettes. I wasn't allowed to go to my mother's. I wasn't allowed to go to my friend's house. And the permission just kept getting smaller and smaller. The beatings got really bad. It went from he would pull in on Friday evening from work, and I would pull out, and I wouldn't come home until he was ready to leave on Monday morning. And that was no way to live. I was sleeping in my car, waiting on him to leave. I was hiding. That was nowhere for me, for anybody with a child to live. So I finally said, did the hardest thing I ever did. The biggest fight was I was not leaving with his daughter. So I said, okay, I can't keep doing this. You can have her. And I left without her. 9 weeks later, he contacts me. He says, all Jasmine will do is scream and holler for you. I can't do nothing with her. And in my heart, when I walked out and left her, I kind of knew this was going to happen, that she was going to want to come home to me, but I wasn't really quite sure. But it was a risk I was willing to take. He brought her home, and I never got in a domestic violence situation after that. Things was good. Jasmine went to school, completed college, and then she brought home the first man she fell in love with. And have you ever met somebody you knew right from the jump they were no good? But what do you tell your only child? That the man that she's confessing that she loves is no good. You don't. So you take it and you smile and you do everything you can to be a part of her life. He slowly gets rid of all of her friends. He finds a reason why she can't have friends no more. So she quits doing things with her friends. Then the next thing he gets rid of is her cousins, family, not really close family members, but family members. Now, the whole time he's trying to get rid of me and tell me to go away and whatever. Doesn't work. I'm mom. Isolation. Yes.
Right.
Very, very, very true. So he gets rid of the cousins, and the cousins aren't coming around no more. The friends aren't coming around no more. People start calling me, telling me they seen Jasmine downtown. She's got a black eye. Her mouth is busted. Now the phone calls are coming in. The texts are coming in. Pictures are coming in. I got people telling me all the time. So now he takes her away from the two girls I adopted from out of the system. So now she has nobody. None. She can't be around her cousins. She can't be around her friends. She can't be around the only kids that she ever knew as her sisters. And now he's isolated her. Now he talks her into having a baby. What a better way to hold somebody down is to have a baby. Jasmine thought that all I had to do was just love him and it would be better. Just love. That's all it would take. She thought she could fix him with love. And I kind of blame myself for that because I was the one that taught her to love. I was the one that taught her to love everybody and everything. I didn't teach her about the bad. I didn't tell her about her father. I started calling the police, telling the police that he was going to kill her. They wouldn't listen to me. Started calling social services. They wouldn't listen to me. For 11 years, I called, I reported, I started doing well checkups. Got to the point the police wouldn't even do well checkups on my daughter no more. So now let's do well checkups on my grandkids. Because now he's got two babies in the house. 9 days before my world came to an end, I got a text with a video. He was at a party. He was high on crystal meth. And he was telling everybody the party was at his house and his whore ain't gonna say nothing. He runs the house. He does what he wants. So I took that video to the police and I asked the police to go check on my grandchildren. I didn't have a good feeling. And the police refused to check on my grandchildren.
It's
I didn't
okay.
think
It's okay not to be okay. You are enough. I love you, Brenda. It's
I
okay.
didn't think that in 9 days I was gonna sit up in the middle of my bed and I was gonna feel like somebody reached in my chest and ripped my heart out. And I didn't know why. I didn't know why. I just knew I had something wake me up. I'm sitting in the bed doing bong hits, trying to figure out why I feel like shit. And I hear a knock on the door. I go down and open the door, and there stands two cops on my porch, two cops on the sidewalk. And then one cop said to me, "Are you Jasmine Reynolds' mother?" I knew. And the first words out of my mouth was, "He finally killed her, didn't he?" I ran to the bathroom. I punched the mirror. I grabbed my hair. I cut big bald spots in my hair. I scratched my face. I beat on the walls. I tore the shower curtain down, but nothing was going to bring her back. The cops asked me if I knew where my grandchildren was at. Nobody seemed to know where my grandchildren was at.
Oh, wow.
Nobody. So, me being who I am, I jumped on the phone. I started calling around. I tracked my grandchildren down. As the days went on, the true story of what really transpired went down. He beat her on a Sunday morning around 1ish and with a table leg over 60 times in front of my grandchildren. And he didn't call an ambulance until Thursday morning at 7:30.
Oh, wow.
Oh
My
my.
grandchildren sat in that house for 4 days and watched their mother bleed out and die because she was alive for 49 hours in them 4 days.
My grandchildren were 9 and 4 years old, so they knew what was going on. They knew
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
the
Oh,
system, the state of Maryland, led me to believe that I could get my grandchildren. And the way the state reads in Maryland, he had parental rights up until the day he was sentenced. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. He was sitting in jail calling shots for my grandchildren, and they were letting him.
Wow.
Really?
Yep. My oldest granddaughter wanted to get her hair cut, and he sat in jail and wouldn't let her get her hair cut to go to her mother's funeral.
Wow. Wow.
The day that he was sentenced is the day that the state took my grandchildren and then adopted them out.
Oh no.
And you weren't allowed to adopt them?
They told me I was too mentally ill to raise my grandchildren.
Wow.
It's okay for you not to be okay. You are enough. We all are here praying for you, Brenda.
If my story, if my story helps one
Mm-hmm.
person, my daughter didn't die in vain. When I went today and I gifted that woman today, I felt she had a black eye. I wanted to touch her eye. And you know, it isn't only women that get abused, men are abused too.
Yes,
Very
ma'am.
good.
They really
Men
are.
are abused too. I have a friend right now, and he is so embarrassed that he lets his wife beat him, and she beats him on a regular in front of the kids. She is the abuser. And you know how embarrassing it is for a man to admit
Mm-hmm.
that his wife is beating him?
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to tell nobody. It's hard for a woman to tell. It's 3 times harder on a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it sure is.
Very true.
And Tony keeps telling me he can love her enough. He can love her. That's what Jasmine thought.
Mm-hmm.
Jasmine thought she could love him enough. I keep saying they've been together 8 years. I keep saying, Tony, aren't you tired? Aren't you tired of going to work and lying about black eyes? Aren't you tired? He said, but how does a man admit I'm 6'4", Brenda? I weigh 250 pounds. My wife is 5'2", 100 pounds sopping wet, and she wears him out. She jumps him in the shower. She jumps him when he's not watching. He's in the middle of watching a football game. She jumps on his chest, beats him in his face. The man doesn't know half the time, and it's sad that he thinks that he has to stay there. It's sad. My daughter thought she had to stay there. She thought when I got her diaries, many times in her diaries, she kept saying, "If I just loved him enough, if I just loved him a little bit more." It'll be 8 years in February. 8 years feels like 8 days.
God bless you, Brenda.
Yes, God bless you.
I packed up everything I had and I moved. not just an hour away. I moved 11 hours away from everybody I knew, from everything that I knew, from everything. And I can never go back to that state.
Mhm.
Never. There's it's there's too many memories, too many heartache, too much.
That's all right. That's okay.
I miss my friends. Okay. They're the only really friends I have other than people I met online. Thank God for, Facebook and stuff. I do FaceTime with them a lot.
We thank God for you here on Tag, Brenda, because it's hard. It's hard being by yourself and having no one to talk to. You are enough.
Right.
I don't think Haley will be 18 in August. That's the oldest one. There's nothing in this world's going to keep me from looking for her. I already know she's in Jacksonville, Florida, because the same people that reported about Jasmine also report to me about my grandchildren.
That's good.
One good thing about coming from a small town, everybody knows everybody and everybody talks about everybody's business.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
That's always.
And I'm sure there's a lot she's wondering and missing and thinking about her mom that you'll be able to help fill her in so she can know more about herself too, Brenda. And that's a
There's
beautiful thing.
there's things, Maria, like I have my daughter's ashes in my car because I'm afraid to take them into the house. I'm afraid something bad's going to happen and I'm not going to get them to my car and get them to safety. So they've been in my car for like 6 years, right here beside of me.
Mhm. I get that. Maybe. I get to know.
I have a little bit. I bought an alabaster perfume bottle and I put some of that and I sealed it shut and I put some out to sea. But the bulk of them are in my car and they go to my grandchildren. My grandchildren will have the decision of what they want to do with their mother.
Mhm.
Um, I bought a home come February. I'm gonna plant some jasmine along the fence in my yard, and I'm gonna teach Jasmine to climb the fence, the whole fence line. I'm gonna That's gonna be my memorial to
That's
Jasmine.
beautiful. Congrats on your
Every
home.
year, every year, Marie, I try to do something special. I've put notes out into the water. I wrote a note and threw it in a bottle out. Someone
Mhm.
found it.
Yeah.
I put it in the water in October and someone found it and on
That's
Easter Sunday
fantastic.
and called me. Said we found a bottle that you sent your daughter. Um the day that I put her ashes out to sea, it was so nasty. And I was determined I was gonna do it before the end of October. Her birthday's in October. Domestic Violence Month is in October. I was
Mhm.
determined I was gonna do
Right.
this. It was the hardest thing I ever did. But here I am. I'm walking down and I'm talking to her and I'm like, you got to tell me where you want to go. I'm not going to just put you in anywhere. The sun came out. I said, "Oh, so you want to be put here?" Sun came out further. I said, "Okay, I got you." So I sat down where I was at and I took all my little stones out that I was going to pray over and I played some music and I rubbed my stones and I wanted somebody to video me taking her ashes out to sea. And I
Mhm.
looked all around and there was 3 girls sitting over on the side there, 3 young girls. One girl had purple striped hair, the other girl's whole head was purple,
Oh
and the
wow.
other girl's bangs was purple. Well, that's domestic violence to me. Purple's a sign of domestic violence.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
So I was like, "Oh, that them girls were sent to me." So I went over and I said, I explained to him what I was doing, and one girl jumped up and she said, "My name's Abby." She said, "I'd be glad to send a video, take a video of you doing that." So I rolled my pants up and I took my little box out and I'm talking to her. And just as I look up, I get slapped with a wave, dead square in my face. And the box that I had her ashes in came open and they went everywhere. Well,
Oh,
I had a heart, a crystal heart, and I had aluminite in a silk bag. And aluminite breaks down into glittery powder.
mhm.
Okay. And I threw them out there. And I said, "The aluminite will shine on my crystal heart. You will be able to find me anywhere."
That's beautiful, Brenda.
Yes, that is
And then I
very
took
beautiful.
and then I took and lit some paper lanterns and I sent them up over top of the ocean. And that was the last big thing I did. Um, this year for her birthday, I considered buying my home part of my gift. I got blood my nose, lady.
You're fine. Take your time.
Thank you for coming out to You Are Enough Sundays at 7 p.m. We just want to let everybody know it's okay not to be okay. You are enough. Tonight we have the beautiful Brenda as our guest, and we're talking about domestic violence. Brenda, I want you to know that we love you and we are here for you if ever you need to talk.
My
It's
nights are bad.
okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit. My nights are bad. Like it was 5:30 this morning before I even could lay down, and then I tossed and turned. I tossed and turned so much that this morning the dogs got out of bed. you
Mm-mm.
know, you know you're bad when the dogs get out of bed.
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
I
right.
do. Mhm.
I'm glad I came here though. I'm glad. I was a little nervous, but I knew y'all was good people. I knew nobody's gonna say no bad things. Nobody's gonna do no bad things. That's one thing I
And
can
no
say about
judgment zone. No
you group.
judgment in this show right here. You are enough. No judgment.
Absolutely.
Can I go?
If you want to take the time to
Yes,
go,
ma'am.
to be honest, that's fine. I do want to leave you. We do want to leave you with at least a couple words, though. You
Okay.
know, um, thank you for sharing your story. Um, it is it is very sentimental in many different ways, and I'm glad that you're still doing things and helping people the best that you can. She's living through you
Yes,
every
she
day.
is.
She's living through you every day, and she's living through her daughters too. And those restless nights that you're having, they're gonna come to ease when you have that chance to get with Riley again. It's gonna be a beautiful moment, and you stay strong and you hold out for that because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I know,
Okay?
Maria, I know deep in my heart that it'll all come around in a full circle. I've come a long ways. I went from crawling on the floor the
Mhm.
first 2 years that she was gone. I hid in the bedroom because I was so afraid someone was going to hurt me. So I
Mhm.
spent 2 years locked in my bedroom with no life. I was making dinners in my bedroom. I was not leaving my bedroom. I was because I thought if something that terrible could happen to something I loved,
Mhm.
because identifying her body was probably the worst fucking thing any mother would have to go through. And it's sad because the body that I identified wasn't her. But
Yeah.
the crime scene papers and pictures was her, if that makes sense. And yes, she was beat up, but I could still see her hair. I could still see her
Mhm.
dimple. But once they did the autopsy and they wrapped her in plastic and an ace bandage, that was not my daughter. The only reason I knew it was Jasmine is because she had a picture of her tattoo pinned to the ace bandage on her. That's the only reason I knew it was her.
Mm.
And for the longest time, for the longest time, she haunted my dreams. Help me, mommy. Help me, mommy. I would spend days and nights looking for her, trying to help her.
I'm sorry, Brenda. Have you sought help and advice to get through that? Because you have come a long way.
Yes, I see two therapists a week. The VA has fought me over that. Okay, believe me, the VA has gave me a rough fucking time. But I'm also a very determined person, and when you tell me no, I tell you I watch and see if I
Gonna
can.
do it anyway. Hmm. I get that. You know, I get that.
And the only thing with the VA is you got to keep raising hell because if you don't keep raising hell, they're going to keep
You won't
taking your
get it.
benefits from you.
Yep, I understand that. Well, I'm glad
So
you're out. I'm glad you're talking to someone. I mean, like I said, I understand that you want to, take a step, take a break away, but this is a safe place. We're not here to judge you. We're here to try and comfort you. Be here. I do appreciate you sharing your story. It's a rough one. It's a tough one. You're a tough woman. You're a tough cookie, and you've been
I
holding
can't.
out. And you got this. You got a blessing on the other side. That glitter in that water, even though that salt smacked you in the face. I'm sure it was beautiful seeing it go.
It was, and it was her telling me, "Okay, mom, enough,
Mhm.
enough."
She's with you. And that jasmine wall sounds beautiful. I can't wait. I
Yes,
can't
it's
wait to see a
very,
picture
very
of it.
beautiful.
It sounds
Well,
beautiful.
I intend on putting the Day Foundation plants trees in memory of people,
Hmm.
and I'm right next to a national forest, so I'm gonna have them plant me something.
Yeah, I bet you're. We did a bench in our local park for my cousin that had gone through a similar unfortunate situation as well. It was her favorite place. There's a pond out here at the Washington Park, and we put a bench in her honor right there. The city actually ended up taking care of it, but there's always different opportunities and places and blessings to scatter her where she is when she's with you.
And I found that in in South Carolina, you can plant your mom in your front yard.
Really?
Really, you can?
There is no laws pertaining to who you bury in your front yard. You don't even have to put people in a casket in South Carolina. They have what they call a green burial, and they put you like a cloth and throw you right in the ground.
Wow, that's
The
Well, I
only
live
cool.
in
thing
the
is
state of New
I
York,
live the only
so
thing is I live
that's
in what
gonna
they
happen.
call the low country. Okay, and this place floods all the time. What do you got all these people out here buried that ain't got no ain't in a
Right.
box
That's
and
true.
it floods and you see people floating around.
My mom told me she wants to be cremated, and she wants me to take her either go on a cruise and scatter her in the ocean somewhere, or go to the highest mountain that I can find and let the wind take her away. So that's what I plan
I
to do.
get
I plan
that.
on keeping her a little bit. She said, "I don't want you to keep me in your house," and I said, "I plan on keeping something of you." But otherwise, I'll probably end up telling my son the same thing. It's probably how I want to go.
Yeah, I want to be cremated too.
Mm.
I will be donated and cremated is what my intentions are.
Yeah.
I figure if I can help somebody with my eyes or,
Hmm.
whatever, it ain't doing me no good when I'm done. And
Right.
if you're donated, your family doesn't have to pay for the cremation.
Well, that's lovely. Good to
Well,
know.
see, I can't donate. They won't let me donate. So
Why?
because of the lupus, the heart problem, they won't let me donate. My lungs are
You,
messed up.
you can still donate as a science. Yeah. You don't have to be in perfect condition. You can actually be donated to science and they can check, use your body for lupus to do tests on, or they can use
Hmm,
your heart to do tests on. You can always donate to science.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay,
that's
got
not
you.
a bad idea.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea because I really want to see if they could get a cure for lupus. I really want to see that.
Well,
Mhm.
many people like you donate to science that's got lupus, maybe they will crack the code of what causes lupus. I'm on.
You never
Isn't
know.
lupus like a gene? Isn't it like a gene that they carry?
Oh, it's an autoimmune disease.
Okay. And see, I don't know nothing about that. That would be a nice show that I would like to learn something about.
Yeah.
But I got to go home and
Brenda, can I ask a question before you go? Uh, please do say that he is locked up for life.
okay, he's got life without parole.
Okay.
But in the state of Maryland, you get all kinds of chances.
Yeah, I
Like
know that.
he 2 years ago he wanted a sentence modification. I went back to Maryland and fought that. He didn't get a sentence modification.
Okay.
Last year, he decided that he thought he needed a whole new trial because he was bipolar, post traumatic stress disorder, ADHD, and under the influence of drugs and alcohol. I fought that. He didn't get that either. Now, in a year or so, he could come up with something else to think that he needs.
Hmm.
And every year, okay,
Hmm.
what he wants to do is get rid of without parole off of his sentence. Because in the state of Maryland, if you are not on parole in 25 years to the door, you can be out on the street.
Yeah. Yeah, they got different laws everywhere.
Now, down here in the South Carolina, the racial shit that he wrote all over the house, he would have never made it 6 months in South Carolina prison. He would have been a dead man. Once they found out about the N word that he wrote in spray paint all over the house, he'd have been a dead man. But in Maryland, he went to prison crying that he had an HOS on him, and that's a hit on the spot.
Mm.
So they stuck him with the Aryan brothers. And in Maryland, the Aryan brothers are separated from the whole prison system
Hmm.
because they're troublemakers. So pretty well much he was protected with the Aryan
Gotcha.
brothers.
Right.
Because yes, I will say I did have a gang that was that I'm affiliated with that did put a hit on him.
Mm.
I had nothing in it. He claimed I did it. I had nothing in it. These boys loved my daughter. They did it on their own. They brought me $4,000. They gave me more money than her own father gave me. Her father gave me $75.
That's a shame.
When I got the crime scene papers back, I took them out to her dad. Now,
Mm.
I didn't have no contact with this man for 27 years until she got killed. And being the mother that I am, I thought, it's his daughter. I should allow him to share
Right.
in, you know, her death as much as he shared in her life.
Hmm.
I took them crime scene papers out there and asked him if he wanted to see them. And you know what he said to me? If you hadn't have been in such a hurry to leave and gave that kid a man that she could rely on, she wouldn't have stayed with a man that beat her for so many years. He twisted that shit around and
Wow.
blamed me for it
It's not your fault.
and blamed me for it.
Abuse is mainly just about power and control. And if you're not that person seeking it, it's not you, Brenda. It's not.
Maria, he told me one time, out of all the money he gave me and all the nice cars I drove and all the nice clothes I wore, I could have overlooked a few of them beatings and not had to make a big deal out of them.
Not at all. That's not okay. It's power
It's
and
not
control.
okay.
But this has wounded me for other relationships. I get one
Mhm,
red flag, you get blocked.
mhm,
I don't I don't give you this. I get a red flag, you get blocked. Boom.
mhm. Well, that's you defending yourself, and that's okay.
I don't think I'll ever have a healthy relationship though. I don't think that I will, because my unconditional love comes from my dogs.
If you want
Like
another one, I got one here,
You want two
when I
more?
go home tonight, my dogs will be all ready.
all over you, loving you, kissing you, everything.
Yep,
Oh,
yep.
As
And
long as you continue, Brenda, to work on your own self love to help you get through those nights, that's what's going to be most important.
yeah,
Those restless nights have to come to ease at some point.
well, I have,
And it's
knock on
not for
wood,
me
I
to tell
haven't
you
had
when
a
to
panic.
heal.
Knock on wood, I ain't had a panic attack in a good while. I haven't
Good.
sleptwalked because there was so much, like, I started sleepwalking because I wasn't
Hmm.
sleeping. I was staying awake, staying awake, staying awake. I wasn't sleeping. So I
Right.
started sleepwalking. I haven't done that in a while. Christmas in my new house, I started missing her really bad. And I just can't shake it.
Yeah.
It's been really bothering me since Christmas. I just can't. And I know once spring comes and I can start planting a garden and I can, start doing things. I'm stuck in the house and nothing to do but cook, eat, and clean.
Hmm. Well, you have us.
And
You have
and,
outlets.
and
You
you
do.
have us now, Brenda. I'm
You have
up all
outlets.
time
You
of
have
night. You can call me.
distractions. You have people you can talk to. You got to take advantage of those moments, even when it's hard to. Jump into a show, jump into something, jump into a conversation just to get yourself a little distracted.
well, that's why I like doing the hood feud thing. That's always a good laugh. That's always funny. Always,
Right.
everybody's always laughing. Always funny.
Always a good
Um,
time there.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize I'm not hood. I am not hood.
That's okay.
But I
I'm more
had a good
bougie than
time.
hood. I get it.
But I had a really good time though. I did. I
Mhm.
really enjoyed myself. And then when I sat in and listened to everybody else, I I really enjoyed myself.
And
That's
laughter is always a thing. You always make me laugh, Brenda. We always have a good time when we're together.
yes. We always have a good time when we're all together.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Laughter can definitely cleanse the soul. So keep laughing as much as you can. She would want you to do that too. She would want
I
you to
know.
laugh. She's with
And
you.
she knows I'm doing a lot better. I mean, I went from my friends picking me up off the floor and feeding me and showering me to stuck
Now
in a
you bought a house.
bedroom. Now I bought a home in the country. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's done a complete. I'm coming a long ways, a long ways, and
No
there's a
one can
long
tell
ways
you
to
how
go.
long it's going to take to heal, but as long as you are focused on the healing,
And that's the key. Focus on the healing.
May
The
God bless you, Brenda. God
yeah,
bless
you're
you.
not forgetting anything. You're not forgiving nobody. You're healing.
And you know
Right.
how many times people has said to me, "I won't heal until I forgive him."
Mm.
There's no forgiving.
No, 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 no,
No.
no.
And if I could cast a spell, I would cast a spell and the bitch would be dead.
There's
But you know,
things that
I
you
want to
could
tell you,
forgive, but it doesn't have to be him.
I want to tell you though, I have gained. He's had a stroke since he's been in prison. The big, strong man that he was, he's not no more. He's lost all of his hair, all of his teeth just fall out. So that to me, to watch
Karma.
him sit in prison and rot away, that is that is my peace. It is. And I know people say you shouldn't gain pleasure in someone else's misfortune, but you know what he's in jail for? He's in jail for killing her. But you know what he pled guilty to?
What?
Telephone calls out of the county jail. He talked for 31 hours on the county jail, bragging about how he killed my daughter and got back at me.
Hmm.
That's what. Now, how many you know? He's not very intelligent. If you get on the jailhouse phone and you're going to talk about your crime,
Right.
that's
Yeah,
what
'cause they
hung him. That's
record
why
that.
he will never get another trial. He will, because he got on that jailhouse phone and bragged.
Hmm. Well, I hope you find some solitude that he does have to sit in that jail. He can't have a life. He can't have a relationship with his daughters. He can't do anything without having to
And
sit and think about what he did. And that is what you should take with you so that you can exceed everything else. Because why be locked in a mental prison because he's sitting in one?
exactly. And he has two sets of children. He has my children, and he has a set of children with his first wife.
So he's missing out on a lot of love, I'm sure.
And his children from his first wife want nothing to do with him. And I really feel bad because when Jasmine was first killed, I was really mean to his oldest daughter. Really mean. I said some really fucked up shit to her. But then I got to thinking, damn, Brenda, that's pretty ignorant. So then I went back and I apologized to her for being ignorant because I didn't feel right about being ignorant to somebody when it wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault that her dad killed my daughter. My daughter loved her. How much would I be disrespecting my daughter's memory if I
Mm.
hated on that girl?
Does she forgive you? That's beautiful. That's a good thing.
Yep.
And that's beautiful.
That is. Well, I know you're
Yep.
not home, Brenda. I know you want to get home. I
No,
just
I'm
want to
in a
make sure that
parking lot.
I just want to make sure you're okay to do that.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
Okay. I
Brenda,
understand.
could you please tell us what you got going on the app and where we can find you?
Really nowhere. I troll everybody else's page. Like I said, if I don't leave the house, I don't have no internet.
Right,
Um,
right.
I can get in the comments. I just can't get you know live. I was going live there for a minute when I was in the motel, but just I got so much stuff going on at my house. And no internet. You know, I got lucky when I bought this house. I'm on a dead end dirt road, sitting on an acre of property. Everything in my house is brand new. All my appliances. So I did damn good.
That's not bad. That's not
No,
That's
bad.
no,
bad.
no. I got a 3-bed, 2-bath on an acre of property. It only cost me 250 grand.
Yeah, that is
No,
a catch, my love.
Yeah, that's a good
yeah,
one.
Townhouses
yes.
over here, 275.
Woo.
Girl, you ain't getting nothing in the Charleston area under 500,000.
Yep, exactly.
I went on out into the country a little bit, which I don't mind. I don't care that it's only 1,800 people in the whole town. Okay.
I kind of enjoy that little rinky dink kind of.
Solitude
I'm
is not isolation, it's just solitude.
I'm 15 minutes away from town, so if I really need to be in town, um,
Mhm.
where all the stores and everything is at, um, I just came over into the little town that I'm in. The internet's better over here. I'm still only on 4G, but the internet's still better here. Um,
Well, I just want to thank you for sharing your story and thank you for sharing Jasmine with us because her spirit is definitely here and I appreciate it. It's a story to hold on to. It's a story to tell. It's a story to remember when you're talking to young girls. When I'm talking to my son, you know, it's something to remember that these things happen. These things happen to good people who all they want to do is just love, and they were
uh,
just trying to love a hurt person. And bless you, bless her heart, and thank you for sharing her with us. She's
thank you,
she's living on through that story. Thank you.
thank you
Yes,
guys.
thank you very much.
Thank
Um,
everyone for coming to You Are Enough. Brenda, really appreciate everything that you just shared tonight and that conversation. I do hope you get home safely. Looking forward to our next episode. Looking forward to Labor and Delivery to come on Wednesdays at 8 o'clock. Do you have a quote for us, real sister?
I have an affirmation, and it is I am worthy of love and respect. I am strong and capable of creating a better future for myself. I deserve to live life free from violence and fear. It's okay not to be okay. You are enough.
Thank you, real sister.
I
Night.
just want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. Um, we will have another topic next Sunday. And if you have a topic that you would like to talk about or you would want to be on the show, please get in contact with Maria or myself. Thank you, and you have a blessed night.